believe it or not, this is venomous. I can feel it stinging my fingers. But this stuff here is worth a tremendous amount of money here in Vietnam. In fact, people here in this town are jellyfish millionaires based on these venomous creatures. And I can feel it stinging me right now. I'm gonna put it down. Some jellyfish will sting you. Some will send you to hospital. And some will straight up kill you.
79 people have been killed.
But here in Vietnam, there's this crazy devenomizing process that makes these things into a prized delicacy. The season is just 2 short months, and it is still sold illegally, bootlegged on the streets of Vietnam.
We're gonna back it up.
So in this episode, we're going through the insane year-long process of devenomizing these things and showing how some villagers are making millions from one of the world's most dangerous creatures. Let's go. Nam Dinh, North Vietnam. Alright guys, welcome to Vietnam's premier jellyfishery, and it is in fact the big thing. This entire town runs on jellyfish. It is early morning here in Nam Dinh, and the boats have started to roll in. They're behind me, and I've heard that today there's a ton of jellyfish because this is jellyfishing season. Before most people ever wake up, boats are already coming in, and they are absolutely loaded. They don't look like much. They're basically these big ass bamboo rafts with giant motors bolted on the back. But they go way out, 20 kilometers offshore, flying Vietnamese flags all over the place. And they come back just jam-packed with giant jellyfish. The second they hit the dock, everybody moves fast because jellyfish break down the moment they're out of the water. And we gotta get these things on salt. Alright guys, these guys behind me are unloading some absolutely monster jellyfish. It is crazy. They've been out there all night. It is peak jellyfish season here in Nam Dinh, and right now it is a race against time. The moment those things get out of the water, you're on a clock to process them so that they do not go bad. While a group of men unload the catch into this crazy mining cart thing, women are already busy processing these on the concrete floor. They're gloved up, long rubber sleeves, face masks, full protection, because even though this specific species of jellyfish that they're catching today is not deadly straight up, it is still very much venomous. This thing will send a rash straight up your arm if you don't cover it up. Trust me, I got one trying to get this thumbnail. Oh my God. Hi guys, now I understand why these ladies have those giant arm sleeves. Those things kind of sting like hell. My arms are super itchy right now, but that's not going to stop us right now. The second the mining cart hits the top of the dock, a latch is released and the jellyfish come tumbling across this giant slippery work surface. This giant mining cart is filled with jellyfish. We just had hundreds of them dumped right here on shore, a huge fleet of jelly fishing boats right out there, and teams of these women now racing as fast as they can against the clock to process these things, devenomize them so that they are actually edible. We are clearing space for all these extra jellyfish that are just coming up to the dock right now, sort of using this huge bamboo pole to just clear a giant space on what now is one of the slipperiest surfaces you have ever come across. Slipperiest and rash inducing, I would say. Guys, on these trips, you end up walking through beaches, mountains, temples, jungles, you name it. And there's one thing that I've learned is that shoes can make or break your trip. These things are Fitville Redown Neos, and the first thing you notice is this really wide toe box. And it means that your feet can just spread out and move naturally. They're not all crammed in there. Super comfy. And that alone is this massive game changer when you're on your feet all day long. They also have this really proper arch support built in. So even after 10, 12 hours on my feet, they don't feel completely destroyed. Genuinely feels like I'm walking on clouds compared to most shoes that I've worn and tried on the road. Guys, these dogs, I just love these shoes. So do I. If you want to check them out, link is in the description. Fraser 30 gets you 30% off. They ship across the US, Canada, UK, Europe, you name it, check them out. And the knives come out immediately because there is one animal but 3 products at 3 distinct price points. The first step is to quickly behead these things. We got to separate the hood, the outer bit, whatever it is, from the tentacles below. We do not have long. It takes this team of ladies hours to furiously process these things as fast as possible because within a day, these would not be edible at all. The middle section, kind of like between the bell and the tentacles, separated. That's the least valuable. So right now the hoods have already been separated. And essentially what they're doing is kind of separating out this kind of like, I don't know what you'd call it, like the inner brainy bit of the jellyfish from the legs. The legs are by far the most interesting bit to eat. And then there's the tentacles. The stingers, the most venomous part of the whole animal. And believe it or not, that is gold. That stuff is the most valuable. Because right now, it's jellyfish season and these stingers are just loaded with eggs. So you have this kind of like the tentacles at the bottom here, and at the very end you can see these brown bits. That is in fact the jellyfish eggs. This, what I'm calling the brain, I have no idea what it is, to be honest. In reality, that just large clear chunk, that's going to be cut away and separated, and then each of these singular stingers, these arms, that's going to be cut off, and those are sold as individual edible parts. I mean, it's all edible, but this is the most desirable bit, especially if it's like this one and it has eggs. These brown bits, these are jellyfish eggs. And that's the premium product. That's where the real money is. It gets processed as fast as possible. So each of these baskets has one of 2 products. This one, for example, is filled with arms that this lady is slicing away. And then these are kind of, again, what I'm calling the brain, sort of large, clear, chunky bits. That stuff's almost worthless. Where the money is at is in the shredded cape or the stingers. Once everything's cut up and ready, it is straight to these devenomizing centrifuges. It is this wild rush to get them into these kind of crazy centrifuges, which are going to get rid of a lot of like the gunk in them as well as any of the venom. Even though these aren't the kind of jellyfish that are going to kill you on touch, it ain't great to be ingesting them straight out of the ocean. Guys, here I was thinking that this thing was just some kind of, I don't know, loading machine, but no, it is in fact the jellyfish hood shredder. That kind of like head, that hood of the jellyfish is quickly shredded into long, thin strips so that it can be more easily cured. Have you ever seen a jellyfish shredder before? I bet not, because that was the first time I saw it. You know what's funny, guys? I have eaten jellyfish once or twice before. We used to go to this yum cha restaurant in 8 Mile Plains or Browns Plains, Brisbane, Queensland, way back when, and they served jellyfish what I thought were tentacles because they were long and wiggly and, you know, kind of jellyfish tentacle looking. But that is in fact the shredded capes. I now realize that I'm seeing the process here. You see the one sort of large bell end of the jellyfish just get shredded into long strips. That is in fact the low quality product. I was getting ripped off. These things spin from anywhere from 6 to 20 hours. They pull out everything, water, gunk, and importantly, all that venom. You come to the docksides here and they're just filled with these jellyfishing centrifuges. The first step in the kind of curing and devenomizing techniques used to eat these edible jellyfish. Just this humming and then just spinning jellyfish parts. Kind of weird. At this point, the water's like almost murky. And by the end, it's nothing left, it's just super clear. Look, here's the thing about jellyfish.
Tỉnh Thừa Thiên Huế vừa cấp cứu thành công một ca ngộ độc thực phẩm nặng do ăn phải sứa độc.
Not all of them will kill you, but some will. Vietnam's got plenty of those. They've got box jellyfish, one of the most venomous animals on Earth.
Chironex fleckeri, the box jellyfish, is a horrifically dangerous species.
79 people have been killed, but experts suspect more might have gone unreported.
These are the marks the box jellyfish left on Rachel Shardlow's leg.
A jellyfish that brought a painful end to one's...
Injuries on her arms and leg.
The ones we're dealing with here today are way different, at least on a size spectrum. They are much, much larger. In fact, This thing can grow to almost 2 meters across, found all across the South China Sea. Still venomous, still capable of sending you straight to hospital, just not deadly. Well, not unless you're crazy enough to eat one of these things raw, like the Vietnamese.
Giòn thấy sợ luôn á.
The venom lives in these tiny cells in the tentacles called nematocysts, microscopic harpoons that fire on contact. Eat one of these things raw, which is basically what we're planning to do, and they'll fire straight into your mouth and throat, and there are documented cases from eating this exact jellyfish unprocessed. At a minimum, burning, swelling, and, well, not exactly a fun time. The answer is salt. Some of this jellyfish never leaves the dock. It cures right here in giant concrete containers on the waterfront. Guys, look at this. You just have roomfuls of jellyfish tentacle just curing away in salt. This is going to be eaten a year from now. This is salt, just loaded with salt. Locals can come and buy it straight from the source. Simple. But there's a serious problem. Jellyfish are available for only 2 months a year, and they're still basically all water at this point. So how do you make serious money from jellyfish? I went to meet Mr. Hugh, a bona fide jellyfish millionaire, to find out. He runs everything out of a simple warehouse with swimming pools. Here's how it works. Alright guys, we're here with Hugh at his giant ass jellyfish factory, because somehow you have to take those crazy, gooey, venomous creatures from the ocean and turn them into something that is edible and desirable. So we're here at Sir Ang Lin Tanlom, this giant factory. And we're going to see exactly how you make this basically free ocean creature into something you can make big time money from. Let's go. How long have you been processing jellyfish for?
Mình làm sứa là được năm nay năm thứ 11 rồi.
11 years. Wow. So, oh my God. Alright, guys, you can see in here just like this giant ass room just filled with thousands of kilos of jellyfish floating away in these giant tubs. How big are each of those jellyfish pools that you have out there?
Mỗi một bể ngâm sứa của mình nó tầm độ 7 tấn sứa.
Well, 7 to 8 tons each. Wow.
Đây là những bể khi đến vụ mùa mình sẽ thu mua từ các xưởng chế biến thô ở ngoài bến, và sau đó mình sẽ về đây tẩm ướp muối và để lưu trữ để bán quanh năm.
7 tons of jellyfish soaking away right now. Some of these ponds are 6 months old, some of them are close to a year. Guys, that's crazy. This stuff soaks here for an entire year. Một năm. Wow. Alright, so you can see it, guys. This is like the new stuff, really clear. And you can see just how sort of like almost cloudy it gets, and that's desirable. What?
2 tháng cho đến 15 tháng.
From 12 to 15 months. Why does it take so long?
Bởi vì chu kỳ nó từ tháng 2 âm lịch cho đến tháng 4 âm lịch. Mình thu mua về, lưu trữ và chế biến thành phẩm.
So they have like a relatively short jellyfish season, guys. So they're sort of like buying as many jellyfish as they can in this 2 months-ish window. And then they're going to be preserving it this entire year, just soaking it away. So basically soaking this stuff in salt water, but the jellyfish, instead of breaking down like the nukmam, like the fish sauce, instead it seems to go harder and harder and harder. How much jellyfish do you buy in just this one period of the year?
Một năm của mình tầm mua từ 150 cho đến 180 tấn.
Oh, wow. Alright, so these giant vats are filled with jellyfish. This is the current one being processed. And then over this side of the factory, you just have swimming pool after swimming pool loaded with these jellyfish parts in various stages of processing. Alright guys, that lady back there right now is buying up a bunch of jellyfish straight up from this factory, the fresh stuff, so that she can kind of process it herself. She's after the raw stuff, the straight up jellyfish. These lot here have been processing for far less than 3 months. They're pretty fresh from the ocean. Yeah, she has a pretty big truck here. She says she doesn't have a restaurant, just a huge jellyfish fan. Oh wow, hello, xin chào.
Đây xuất bán sứa tươi luôn trên xe.
Oh wow. Alright guys, so they're just loading up a bunch of fresh jellyfish right now. Again, so essentially some of this isn't packaged. It's just bought fresh, sold directly to these wholesalers, because this stuff is eaten all over Vietnam. This is like the jellyfish that's sort of been sitting there for around about a year already, and now it's ready to ship off to a restaurant. So they just sell it like this, kind of packaged up in these boxes. How much are they buying?
Đang bán là tầm 70.000 một cân.
70.000 một cân. So 70,000 a kilo at this point. So that's maybe like $3.50. I'll have to check that later. It'll be on screen. How much does the head sell for? The like cut up head?
Cái dù thì hàng gọi là giá trị phổ thông thì mình đang bán là ở mức là 60.000 một cân thành phẩm.
Oh, so it's like not that much cheaper. 60 versus 70, right? It's like a similar kind of price. Even though this is better tasting, guys, don't skimp out. You're saving like 30 cents. Just buy the good stuff, buy the legs. All right, guys, these ladies right now are emptying out one of these giant ass swimming pools bit by bit. And as you can see, it's just basket after basket of these sliced up jellyfish heads. Right now, they're about to get packaged and shipped all the way down to Saigon. Oh, here she goes. That's a big ass trolley. All right, guys, come on through. I love Vietnamese factories. From the pools, it goes into this big spinner, another centrifuge, this time loaded with soft water, and it extracts the brine. All right, guys, the monsters come to life. This huge ass jellyfish blender. We were sort of loading these buckets of jellyfish head, sliced up head, bit by bit. Now we have just this huge whirlpool stirring it away. Then it's packaged into vinegar and water. Heat sealed, and there's 3 sales channels. Fresh for processing, bulk for the restaurants, and packaged for everyone else. A simple operation, but serious money. Okay, and what do you think about the future? What is the future of the jellyfish business? Are things going well, and where do you think it goes?
Thực tế là mình cũng rất mong muốn hy vọng qua những cái chương trình như thế này mình quảng bá sản phẩm mình tốt hơn, nên là hướng tới là xuất khẩu ra nước ngoài.
He wants to sell overseas. Guys, if you're a jellyfish buyer overseas, hook him up. Check it out in the description. Vietnam's finest jellyfish. All right, so basically once everything's weighed, vinegared, sealed up, it heads right into here for the cold room. So I imagine most of this stuff is sold frozen. Whoa, this is crazy. I love cold rooms. Oh my God, wow. All right, guys, it's just a fridge. It's not actually frozen, but this is just like a giant cold room filled with everything you can imagine. Jellyfish heads, jellyfish legs, everything vinegared up, different sizes. You've got boxes, bags, giant tubs. This is a lot of jellyfish. How much jellyfish do you think you have in here? How many kilos total, do you know?
Cỡ này khoảng độ 3 tấn sứa thành phẩm ở trong này.
Wow, 3 tons?
Đây bao bì đã gồm có hoàn thiện và chưa hoàn thiện cho khách hàng.
How much jellyfish can you process in one day?
Một ngày trung bình nếu mà sản xuất được 1 tấn sứa.
So you can do 1 ton every single day.
Đúng rồi.
And is this jellyfish, is this the same price as when you sell it fresh? Do you also sell this for like 50 to 60,000 per kilo?
Sau khi chế biến và hao sản phẩm đi thì thường là bán gấp đôi so với giá nguyên liệu.
Double the price. Wow, guys, so isn't that crazy? Just by the time you've added a little bit of vinegar, some packaging, this is already twice the price, like 120,000 per kilo for this box of jellyfish packaged up all the way from Vietnam, the highest quality jellyfish on earth, according to me. That's what I'm saying.
Do the math. A kilo of Vietnamese premium jellyfish sells for nearly 120,000 VND packed. And these guys are cranking out over a ton a day. That's 1,000 kilos, nearly $5,000 a day, or upwards of $1.7 million a year in jellyfish.
But the money's only possible because of what the salt water does. Jellyfish, you see, are 95% water. The cure is drawing that out, and what you're left with after a year is a fraction of what went in. But it's firm, it's stable, and most importantly, it's not venomous. The nematocysts have all been neutralized. You can eat this stuff straight up. Hanoi, the old quarter, one of the most visited neighborhoods in Southeast Asia. Tourists are just everywhere. Colonial buildings, coffee shops, Instagram spots. And down dark alleyways behind all of this, jellyfish. All right, guys, so check this. This is like the open street, and then you go down this little dark alleyway, and this is where they're preparing the jellyfish. Look at these cables. It's like some dark grotto, but it's a secret, illegal jellyfish restaurant, server, assembly station. Here's the issue. It's illegal. It's bootleg jellyfish sold right in the middle of downtown Hanoi. There's no permits, no shops, so you can find this stuff sold, but you never know when the police are gonna come and bust your ass. There's like this little tiny alleyway. No one could possibly walk down here Every now and then they clean up around the old town here. Police roll through, just get everyone out of the way. But right now, we're gonna try smash one of these meals. Just right in front of me is a giant platter of jellyfish with mam tom, which is the super smelly, intense stuff. Here it is. When you order, they go scurrying down the alleyway to start assembling your blood-red jellyfish to eat. Some sliced jellyfish, a bunch of herbs, and giant spoonfuls of the most intense, smelly, fermented shrimp paste, mam tom. Some sliced coconut, chili, lime, and tofu. And so I don't really know how to eat it. Ăn như sao cô? Rồi. Ok. Chili. Không ăn ớt.
Không ăn ớt à?
Không.
Cay. Cay lắm.
Không ăn cay được.
Cái này cay.
Okay, alright, super spicy. Truth be told, I do usually like some spicy food, but I have massive stomach problems at the moment. Turns out there are some downsides to eating some of the craziest foods in the world. Then we have, what is this? Canali. Dưa. This is coconut.
Quả dừa.
And then this con tàu hũ.
Đúng rồi.
Oh, okay. And it's coconut.
Hũ nướng.
Tàu hũ nướng. Okay, so it's like grilled coconut. And we eat it together. Ăn chung đúng không? Okay. Oh, ăn lá. Ah, hiểu rồi. Okay. So I think we kind of like put it all together. Like a piece. Okay. Alright. So we're going to do the stack. First up, we've got a bit of this grilled coconut, yellow tofu. We're going to stack a giant arm right on top of it. And look at that. That is one crazy ass chopstick full of food. Go for a big dip in this mam tom. That's going to add some funk, and let's go for it.
Rất ngon.
Come on. This lady is saving my ass. She's right. That is pretty good. I've got to admit, it is really hard to get the jellyfish flavor, I have to admit, with that like crunchy coconut, the kind of firm but a little bit chewy tofu, and then the jellyfish which you just glide through. I couldn't get that flavor at all. Overall, the profile is pretty damn good. Tastes almost like refreshing salad-like, but we're gonna have to grab a bite just straight up because, again, it's just tough to see what we're dealing with. As a concoction, solid. Now for the solo bite. So we've got one of these jellyfish arms, the tentacles, the stingers that has been devenomized. We're gonna go straight up, egg attached. Oh my God. That is so crunchy.
Giòn thấy sợ luôn á.
That taste, that is so crunchy and firm. That was like a raw carrot. That is the closest thing I can give you in terms of flavor. There's no saltiness at all, which is crazy considering this stuff cured in salt for a year. That is wild. The crunch to that is just mind-blowing how firm that was. Cheaper middle head sections. There actually you have a bit more flavor. Hi guys. Thanks for coming. Backing up. I'm gonna read my meal.
Nào đưa chạy cho bà.
We gotta back it up.
Tay đừng lên em ơi. Bảo vệ vào đi.
That's one way to quick pack up. Nothing was going on here. We were not eating any illegal jellyfish, I promise. Don't worry. Oh, here he comes. I mean, they stole her sign. It wasn't very nice. She's gonna have to pick up a new jellyfish sign. Man, I mean, look, they have like a whole Nook Mia thing in the back of their cart. So whoever's selling that sugarcane juice, they got really smashed.